We are back. Newcastle then. 4-3-3. Pope, Trippier, Shaw, Burn, Livramento. They got that midfield again. They got Guimaraes, Tonali, Joe Linton. Jacob Murphy, Isaac and Barnes up front. I think Gordon might still be injured. But Barnes is decent, to be fair. Man U playing their weird 5-2-3 formation. By endearing goal, so Amarim's had enough of Onana after his two howlers. Onana's a bit like the Robertson of Man United in some ways. I just want to hit the timer, make sure I'm on time. But yeah, Mazraoui, Lindelof, Euro, Delo, Ugarte, Ericsson, Amas. He is what he says he is. Fernandez, Garnacho, and Xerxes up front. So Newcastle are going to batter them. Well, that's what I presume. Yeah, Ugarte and Ericsson up against Tonali, Guimaraes and Joe Linton. That's basically a murder waiting to happen. So Newcastle attacking right to left. Hello Goku. Hope you are good. Yeah. Already Newcastle playing with more desire in the first 30 seconds. Joe Linton, Jacob Murphy on the right. Murphy cuts it back to Trippier. And have they scored? I think he was offside. But already, you can say Newcastle had the ball in the back of the net within 5 minutes. Within 1 minute. Yeah, this is going to be a battering. Oh God, let's see. Cleared by Man United. Joe Linton gets the ball back. Livramento gets the ball back. Delo intercepts, to be fair. Goes to Xerxes. Xerxes been pants, hasn't he? Goes to Delo. Ugarte. Who's that? Oh, Lindelof's playing. Lindelof's playing. This is going to be a massacre. I can see it now. Goes to Garnacho. Delo. Dan Bon versus Garnacho. Well, that's only going to end one way, isn't it? Let's be honest. Delo taking a throw in. Play it back to Euro. I forgot Euro was still a thing. Euro is an indicator of what happens if you join Man United. Goes to Garnacho. Goes to Mazraoui, Ugarte, Ericsson. Goes to Mazraoui again. Man United playing keep ball. I think they want to keep the score down as much as they can. I don't even know who half these Harry Amas. Oh, he is what he says he is. Newcastle on the attack again. Murphy. Ooh, nice shot, Murphy. Just go slightly wide. Just go slightly wide. Fernandez dummied the ball and the ball just went straight back to the Newcastle player. Kind of dummying the ball is nice and all, but if there's no one behind you, kind of what's the point? Lana says, wanted to watch the United game for a laugh, but he's benched. Oh no. Is that his slander name? Oh no. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't come up with that, but oh god. Oh no. Yeah, but Bayendia, if that's his name, generally does seem a bit more solid. He doesn't really seem to excel. That was a clear handball. He doesn't seem to really excel in any one discipline, but he's solid. He'll give you like a 5 out of 10 every game, which is better than getting a 8 out of 10 occasionally and a 2 out of 10 every other game. Maxwell says, my word, that Mbappe red card was absolutely vile. That was intentional violent conduct, really necessary and really nasty and unnecessary. I'm gonna need to watch that one back. I've not seen it, but a lot of people have been saying that it was pretty horrible. Guimaraes. I'm still a bit bitter we didn't get Guimaraes, but it is what it is. Guimaraes to Livramento. To Harvey Barnes. Back to Dan Burn. Plays it to Shaw. Plays it to Trippier. I think that's Jacob Murphy coming deep. Back to Trippier. Back to Shaw. Is it Share or is it Shaw? Who knows? Euro defends. Oh god, Euro defends and then he dummies himself. Real Madrid want Euro, they said. Ball goes to Fernandez. Is that going at him? At Amas. Brianna says that Mbappe tackle is one of the worst I've ever seen. Fully cocks his leg midair to crunch into the side of the guy's shin. Man, I need to see this. Because everyone's been kind of talking about the severity of that particular tackle. So I'm going to need to check this out. Man, Newcastle just looks so solid, man. Goes to Guimaraes. Murphy. Man, you get the ball back due to lazy play by Newcastle. Man United asking for a handball. Isak getting the ball from deep. Xerxes kind of kicked it against Murphy, but you can't really ask for a handball for that type of thing. Yeah, Man United look a bit toothless, a bit lifeless at the moment. Ball goes to Garnacho. Isak versus Lindelof. There's only going to be one winner. Man, Joe Linton versus Garnacho. That doesn't seem like a particularly fair match. Free kick to Newcastle. Looks like it's going to be Trippier whipping one in. Saved by Bayendia. Newcastle playing it back. Goes back to Pope. Pope plays it to Trippier. Trippier plays it forward to Guimaraes. Loses out to Ericsson. Fair play to Ericsson. Did something useful. Plays it to Fernandez. And that was nice. That was nice to be fair. Kind of Xerxes did a kind of swiveling back heel to Fernandez, who then played a 1-2 with Xerxes. Who unfortunately for Xerxes, shot was a poor shot. Xerxes did something amazing with that kind of back heel. And then he had a simple shot versus Pope, but he just blasted it straight at Pope. Corner now. And he goes short after all that. And then whips in a terrible corner. Lily says, another Mohamed Salah record. His assist for Luis Diaz means he's recorded the most goal contributions in a 38-match Premier League season, ahead of Haaland. Will he break Alan Shearer and Andy Cole's joint 47? I mean, at the rate he's going, most likely. He's already got the record for a 38 season, so I presume Cole and Shearer had it for the longer seasons, but yeah, I mean, you'd think he'd have to, right? Crossed in by Newcastle. Defended. Newcastle attacking again. Goes to Jacob Murphy on the right. Murphy, there's putting a cross in and then there's smacking it right at the keeper. Yeah, Newcastle seem proper up for this at the moment. Euro. I'm still not convinced this kind of whole Amarim tactic, 3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it. Still not convinced that's going to really work in the Premier League. I mean, I appreciate him sticking to his guns on it, but the problem is there always feels like there's a giant hole in the midfield. I don't think it will work in such a physical league where the midfield is so important. Lucy says Onana actually got dropped. Yeah, I think I suspect the manager didn't really have a choice after the last performance. Two howlers at least. You can say 2 howlers that resulted in goals. And Bayern Diaz seems like a perfectly decent keeper. Again, he's not going to excel in any one kind of area, but seems alright. Seems decent. Euro. To, what's his name? Ericsson. To Mazraoui. Delo tries to hit the ball and he just falls over. Imagine trying to hit the ball and then falling over. Well, you don't need to imagine, because that's literally just what happened to Delo. And has he been booked as well? No, it's Ugarte who's been booked. Yeah, not the worst tackle by Ugarte, but it is what it is. Gay McCall says, kind of funny, knowing Onana's watching from home, hoping his own club loses 5-0. Yeah. Especially after kind of how much smack he talked. Was it with Nemanja Matic? Kind of how much smack he was talking. And then Onana goes and makes 2 mistakes and then Matic rubs it in even further. What a mess. Cross in. Goes out. Newcastle, I'd say, are kind of on the top. Are not slightly on top. Are clearly on top at the moment. Man United don't look too bad. I've seen worse. Yes, goal kick to United. But hey, they've made it almost 20 minutes, fairly unscathed, so let's see what happens. Newcastle really need to win this. I think they're equal on points with Chelsea, but have played 3 games less. So if they can kind of take advantage of that and start racking up the points. then they might be good for Champions League. Ball goes to Euro. Bayendia passes it to Garnacho. I feel a bit sorry for Garnacho. He's up against Dan Burn, who's 10'4", and he's up against Joe Linton, who's 10'4" horizontally, because he's that fucking jacked. So what's Garnacho supposed to do? Newcastle are just a team of giants, man. Generally speaking. Goes back to Bayendia. Goes to Mazraoui. Goes to Delo. Good hold-up play by Xerxes, to be fair, and a nice little pass almost, but it gets played back to the keeper. Euro. Fernandes. Poor pass by Fernandes. Newcastle get the ball straight back. Goes to Livramento. Good pressing by Delo. They keep falling over on that left-hand side of the pitch. I don't know if they've not done the grass properly, but Delo fell over there. And then Garnacho also fell over. Seems a bit suspect. Wonder what could have happened. Amas clears it out. Luke Shaw's on the bench, clearly planning his visit to Pizza Hut this evening. Dan Burn plays it back to Pope, who's pretty much closer to the halfway line at the moment than his own goal. Harvey Barnes wins it back, goes to Joe Linton, goes to Guimaraes. Nice pass by Guimaraes to Trippier. Just a bit too much on it. Just a bit too much on it. Man United have had 63% possession. I didn't see that coming. Ball goes to Guimaraes again. He's been on the ball a lot. To Isaac. Ooh, nice header by Isaac, but it just goes wide. Man, Isaac is like such a danger from every position. Euro was playing him on, I think. Fernandes. Maxwell says, let's see if Bayendia has a spoof in him. Let's hope so. I feel like this game is going to need a bit of excitement, and it's not going to come from Man United's technical ability. So at least give us some fun moments. Isaac. Oh my god, what a goal! Oof. It was actually Tenali that scored. But the way kind of Isaac set that up was pretty amazing. Nice little volley. Nice little volley. Just waiting for the replay now. I swear Isaac kind of played a little 1-2 to himself. Unless I'm imagining that. He like played it from his left foot to his right foot and then assisted Tenali. So they're just showing the replay now. Lindelof, Ugarte with a bad pass. Ugarte passed it straight back to Newcastle. Trippier then had the ball. Trippier plays it to... Oh, that's nice, man. That is nice. So Trippier played it to Isaac. Isaac kicks it from his left foot to his right foot. Nah, that's amazing. So Isaac actually kicks it up in the air with his left foot and then passes it with his right foot to Tenali, who then volleys it in. Isaac made that happen. And I know like we really want him, but like he ain't gonna be cheap. And to be fair, Newcastle have got a good thing going as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But that was an amazing goal. Newcastle attacking again. Clearly, one goal wasn't quite enough for them. Newcastle attacking again. Murphy saved. Kerry with a on a slot quote. I think there were 6 or 7 minutes where I wasn't that composed. Scoring a goal in the final stages of the game and still 7 minutes to go. I like referees who give a lot of extra time, especially if the other team is time wasting, but we did not do this for 1 second and there was 7 minutes extra. I mean, is there an argument that can't remember who we're playing now. Is there an argument that West Ham were time wasting? I didn't feel like they were. So maybe Slot's right. The 7 minutes were a bit bizarre. Isaac again. Isaac's got too much strength for Lindelof, man. It's a bit weird saying that as a. It's traditionally the centre back who has more strength. Gamer Cal says the link up between Isaac and Tonali is amazing. It is, especially that goal. It's one of those you need to see again and again just to appreciate. And I need to update the score. It's corner now to the Geordies. Take it short. Goes back to Tonali. Tonali with a long shot. Ooh, nice shot. Just wide. Very nice shot though. We're so lucky that Tonali had that missing because of his dodgy betting. Because he's a... He is a quality player. It's interesting as well. Traditionally, Italian players don't really have the best luck in England, but it seems to be going pretty well for Tonali. Newcastle again. Newcastle attacking again. Newcastle have dropped a lot of points from winning positions, 7, but Man United have dropped more. Let's see how this goes. Newcastle on the attack again, play it through to Isaac. Ball falls to Murphy. Unluckily. Man United, see, they should counter there, but they slowed the play down. They slowed the play down and pass it sideways. I don't know what Ugarte is playing at there. They should be looking to counter, and he had the opportunity to counter, but he decided instead to kind of wait and pass the ball back. United trying to counter now though. Play it to Garnacho. Garnacho on the right. Oh, missed by Fernandez. Garnacho actually was a pretty nice cutback, but Fernandez just completely missed the ball, which was right in front of him. Lucy says Arne Slot has set a new Liverpool record for victories during his first 50 matches in charge of the club. He brought up his half century at the helm as the Reds beat West Ham 2-1 at Anfield in the Premier League on Sunday. Yeah. I think Slot's another one who we need to kind of give consideration about with respect to contracts and that sort of thing, because I think he only signed a 3-year contract. Only signed a 3-year contract when he joined, which means that he's only going to have 2 years left now. Which means get him a new contract now. Don't wait until next season when he only has 1 year left. And then him and his agent will have more power as well. Like, you sign him up now. So in addition to all the players that will come in addition to the contract renewals that will happen, I do want to see the manager get a new contract as well. Kerry says, I'd do unthinkable things for Isaac to be in Liverpool Red next season. Yeah. Quality player, quality striker. He created that goal all by himself. I mean, what more can you say? That was amazing. Joe Linton versus Ugarte. And Joe Linton just completely outmuscles Ugarte. Ugarte falls over. Ball goes to Barnes. Ooh, Isaac should have done better there. Had a volley, but he shot it right at the keeper. That one was a much harder chance than the one he set up for Tonali, weirdly. He had a volley right in the box, but but he smacked it straight at the keeper. Isaac through again. Isaac runs the keeper, but he's gone a bit too wide. Unlucky. Unlucky. Another corner to Newcastle. Newcastle clearly on top so far. Goes to Joe Linton. Just misses out. Ooh, header by Dan Burn. Dan Burn. Unlucky. Header goes just over there. Joe Linton wins the ball back again. Joe Linton's just too big, too strong. And it's like, what more are you supposed to do against that guy? Maxwell says United getting totally outplayed. They are getting outplayed. It's just Newcastle chance after Newcastle chance after Newcastle chance after Newcastle chance at the moment. Man United, sometimes they get lucky that the ball that they manage to defend the chance, but then when they kind of try and break, I can't really do much with it, to be honest. So yeah, it's just repeated Newcastle attacks at the moment. Nothing other than that. But with that said, Garnacho's just scored. as funny as that is. Ugarte wins the ball. That's what goes to Delo. Newcastle don't have enough players back. Plays it to Garnacho, who I swear is onside. Nice finish by Garnacho. Nice finish. I thought he was gonna blast it there, but he kind of placed it through the defender's legs into the far post. Fair play. It takes a level of kind of confidence to place it from there and not blast it. So fair enough. Still an annoying twat though. Maxwell says Isaac is just a killer, man. Every time he gets the ball, it's danger. Genuinely, we should be offering up to 140 million this summer for him. If that's what it takes, I don't care. Yeah, good player. I think 140 is too much for anyone. Because if you think about it, 70 million is a significant sum on one player, and we're saying let's kind of double that. But yeah, I mean 100, maybe a bit over 105, maybe 110. But yeah, I think the trouble is we'd still be putting all our eggs into one basket if we slapped 140 million pounds on one player. But yeah, top player. We must gotta admit. And United have now gone below Everton on goal difference to 14th glory. Yeah, that was probably before this goal, to be fair. But yeah, I don't want to say it was a lucky goal because I think it was quite skillful by Garnacho, but it was against the run of play, you could say, 100%. This would be the 10th defeat in 21 Premier League games for Amorim. 47%! 47% defeat rate. That's wild. That is crazy. Another Newcastle corner. Isaac flopped that volley. But he crosses it back in. Cleared. Marco says, this Newcastle team is the closest thing I've seen to our style and the club. Mesmerizing in attack, but always a bit leaky in the back. You could be accurate with that description, you know. I've never thought about it that way, but you might be right. Very good going forward, very physical. Perhaps not the most technical, but definitely kind of very physical, very aggressive. But leaky at the back. Yeah, probably like a 2017 Liverpool in some ways. Throw in for Amas. Good tackle by Mazraoui. Goes to Harvey Barnes. Goes back out. I think that might be the 400th Newcastle corner. And we're still on the first half. Trippier taking it. Right hand side. In swinger probably. There's a bit of commotion in the box. So things have just been stopped temporarily. Flexi says, the funniest thing about United's downfall is how I don't even rate the players they do rate. Like so many United fans are convinced if they upgrade a few obvious holes, they will be back to top 4. That's the thing. That's the thing that I kind of don't necessarily agree with. Like, you can't just sign 3-4 players and then you're great again. I think structurally they're a mess. Organisationally they're a mess. And this is on the field and also off the field. I almost feel like they need to kind of get rid of all their players. Start from scratch again. And like accept a few seasons finishing mid-table. If that means getting rid of the prima donnas. Getting rid of the kind of high wage players and going from there. Right now, it feels like they're constantly chasing kind of short-term gain, rather than having a long-term vision or a long-term plan. Ball goes to Newcastle, headed over. Apart from Bruno's, how many of their players would be starters at teams currently chasing those positions? Amorim has a massive job to do, even to get them back to top 8. Yeah. And like they had like Ten Hag, and then that didn't work, and then they got Amarim, who's just completely different. And it's like, what's the plan here? What's the plan here? Get whoever's a quote unquote good manager, and then when the good manager doesn't work, get another good manager. I think that's why Liverpool succeeded, because they got Slot, who was structurally very similar to how Klopp played. So a lot of the players could kind of easily learn. Whereas part of the problem, I think, what Amarim has is he's got players who play in a 4-3-3, trying to kind of squeeze them into a 3-5-2, if that's what you want to call it, or a 3-2-4-1. Man United countering again, Garnacho again. Decent play. The ball kind of fell to him, so he smacked it first time, which I quite like, being kind of positive. But good save by Pope. Throw in. Delo going to be taking the throw in. Another throw in by the looks of it. Headed out by Newcastle, cleared by Newcastle. Isaac versus Ericsson, but Ericsson just passes it back. Goes back to Mazraoui. Goes back to Bayendial, who clears it out. Another throw into Delo. I feel like I'm seeing the same thing over and over again at the moment. Throw in. Caught by Nick Pope. Easy for Nick Pope. Newcastle try and counter, but they perhaps counter a bit too quickly. Well, that's the first half done with. Even though there were 2 goals, it was pretty drab, to be honest. Isaac's assist was probably the highlight of the game. Isaac's assist was better than the goal. But not all that exciting, to be honest. Not all that exciting. I'm just going to grab a drink because I'm thirsty as hell. Whew. Riff says, I was under the impression this Amarim plays front foot pressing football. Sporting apparently worked their bollocks off. But all I see with United is counter-attack and a 5-4-1 out of possession. Yeah, that seems to be kind of all they're doing. It is weird. Like, he's playing the same formation as he had at Sporting. So it is the same formation. But tactically it's different. Tactically it's not as aggressive. Tactically it's not as forward thinking. It's very weird. It's very strange. Maybe he thinks he doesn't have the players for it or whatever, so he's making tweaks, but it's not the most inspiring play, shall we say. But yeah, it's 1-1 at the moment. But I don't think it'll stay 1-1. I predict Newcastle will probably have a bit too much for them. It's kind of the obvious thing to say in some ways, but yeah. So apparently, Nunes missed out because he was sick today. I don't know how much of that I believe, but it is what it is. Yeah, just rewatching that corner. Proper kind of Champions goal, you'd have to say. Dominating the game. Let them score to make it 1-1. And then popped up with a header 5 minutes later. What more can you do than that? Yeah, I mean, even Slot having the record now for the most wins in his first 50 matches. So Slot's got 36. Fagan and Dalglish had 29 each. They're just replaying Garnacho's goal. It was a nice goal, nice tidy finish. I think if that was Nunes, he would have perhaps blasted it at the keeper. But Garnacho showed a bit of what's the word? A bit of confidence, a bit of nous, just to kind of tap that in. Lily summarising phase 1 on a slot with Liverpool. 32 Premier League games overall. Okay. 23 wins, 7 draws, 2 losses. Pretty good, that. Pretty good. More draws than I thought, but again, not really going to complain given kind of how many points ahead we are. 76 points, 13 points clear, most goals scored in the league, most clean sheets in the league. And naturally, the third conclusion perhaps follows on from that. Best goal difference in the league. Yeah. Things could be worse. We could be buying Mario Balotelli and God knows who else. Ricky Lambert. Here's your new number 9. Suarez is left. Don't worry. Here's good old Ricky from the Docks. Yeah. Things were bad back then. That 2005, even the 2005 Champions League team was quite good, but it wasn't amazing. I think the best Benitez team was perhaps a few years later, where you got Torres, where you got Decat, where you got Mascherano, where you got Sissoko, where you got Reina. Reina was a big one. I think there's definitely an argument. That team was better, but it didn't really achieve the same stuff. Goku says, Newcastle need to win this because as it stands, Everton are on 77 points. Everton United are on 77 points to our 76. It would be absolutely hilarious to finish with more points than the two of them combined. That would be funny. That would be pretty funny. Just showing ads before we get out for the second half. Yeah, Garnacho's celebration was a bit weird. I appreciate you need like a certain degree of like arrogance and confidence to be a football player, but it's like, dude, you're like 14th, calm down. Yeah, both teams do look kind of tired. Newcastle have at least got some stuff to play for, but other bunch not so much. Salah talking about his contract in an interview, saying hopefully Virgil will be next. So Diaz, Salah and Van Dijk have taken a photo together. Everyone involved in a goal. I'm surprised Robertson hasn't. He was involved in a goal as well. I should perhaps stop this timer. Tools. Corrected that. Chelsea's next few fixtures look pretty tough. They got Fulham away, then they got Everton at home, then they got Liverpool at home, then they got Newcastle away, then they got Man United at home, and then they got Nottingham Forest away. Second half, kicking off soon. Yeah, this ain't staying 1-1. I reckon Newcastle will get another 2 goals, making it, what would that be, 3-1? 3-1 overall. Yeah, McAllister was another player who was amazing today. Players coming out now, players coming out. Yeah, Newcastle definitely been the better team. I think they've just been a bit unlucky at times. But hopefully they can correct it in the second half. Alexander Isak has now provided 6 assists in the Premier League this season. He's joint most in a single campaign in his career. Not bad. 6 assists. I know Salah's got a lot more, but you could say Salah's a more creative player. Isak's more of a finisher, kind of goal threat. I know Salah's got more goals as well, but I don't think that's the point here. It was an amazing assist. In some ways, that assist kind of impresses me more than any of the goals I've seen today. Newcastle kicking off. Newcastle going left to right. And the ball goes straight back out. Harry Maguire is warming up, which is exactly what you want to see. They better not be sticking him up front again. It's just so lazy at this point. Stick the big defender up front. Ball goes Harvey Barnes. Ooh, tackle by Mazraoui. Newcastle play it back. Shaw to Trippier. Jacob Murphy. Coming very deep to get the ball, but sometimes you gotta do that. Lindelof plays it back. Tonali to Joe Linton. Ooh. Played forward to Xerxes. Nice play by Xerxes. Xerxes been having a pretty nice game, to be fair. What does he do with it now? Plays it to Delo. Delo goes down in the box, but I think he was looking for it. Pretty clear dive as far as I could see. It goes to IMS. And he proves that by hitting it over. Tonali just on the floor. I think Eddie Howe's still in hospital, so Jason Tyndall is on the sideline. Guimaraes to Livramento. Livramento skips past the player. Nice cross by Livramento. Goes to Jacob Murphy. 2-1. And it's Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes. Good quick play by the Geordies, man. Good quick play. United kept it equal for 3 minutes. I guess they deserve some level of respect for that. He's doing Salah's celebration. I don't know why you're doing that, Harvey. So Guimaraes, showing the replay, Guimaraes skips past Garnacho. What was key in this was the way Livramento beat Delo. Crossed it to Murphy at the far post. Murphy then kind of plays it back to Barnes. That's awful defending by Euro. Like, what's Euro even doing? Yeah, Euro not looking too great. First goal since the 1st of September for Mr. Harvey Barnes. So he has not scored in a while. Cleared by India. I mean, India hasn't really done too much wrong this game. Newcastle up to 4th now, and they're 1 point behind Nottingham Forest with a game in hand. So Newcastle could go into 3rd. And if Newcastle go into 3rd, there is no chance we're getting Isaac. Absolutely no chance. Ball goes to Isaac. Plays it back to Livramento. Delo kind of karate kicks it in the air but wins it back quite nicely. Garnacho versus Livramento. Garnacho did well. Kind of tried a desperate cross at the end, but the desperate cross went straight to Tonali, who then just clears it out as if it was nothing. Ball goes to Tonali, to Guimaraes. Harvey Barnes. Bonds versus Mazraoui, but Mazraoui does well. Goes to Tenali, Guimaraes, what's his name? Jacob Murphy. Ooh, Zexy dribbling. Zexy's going down, so it's good news for Man United. Hoyland's warming up, guys. Hoyland's warming up to come on and do absolutely nothing. Lily says, since his Premier League debut in September 2015, has it been 10 years? Oh no, you mean for other teams. Van Dijk has scored more goals than any other central defender, 24. Wow. I mean, having a defender who is a goal threat is always a positive thing, and I just realised I haven't put the bloody timer on. That'll do. Xerxes walking off the pitch, seems to have hurt himself. Mason Mount's coming on. Wow, they must be desperate. And what's his name? Grogu. Grogu. Yeah, 3 changes for United. Trying their best to make something happen. Grogu comes on for Amas. Wasn't this Grogu guy like their only signing? And he's already ending up on the bench. What's that about? Mason Mount's coming on. So Xerxes off for Hoyland, Garnacho off for Mount, Amas off for Dogu. Ball goes Euro, Fernandez plays it to Ericsson. Ericsson loses out. Ball goes back to Euro. Goes to Ugarte to Fernandez to what's his name? Mazraoui. Back to Mazraoui. To Dogu. To Hoyland, plays it across by Ericsson. Murphy defends it, to be fair. Defends it pretty well. Cool. Newcastle 2-1 up. I hope they don't just bloody sit back now. You know what I mean? Gonna want to see them continue to attack. Gonna want to see them continue to go forward. Poor pass by Bayendia. And the ball ends up straight back with Murphy. Murphy lofts the ball in. Headed out by Ugarte. Dogu clears it out. Corner by Trippier. Probably an outswinger. No, he plays it short to Isaac. Isaac does the little 1-2 with Trippier, but Trippier gets taken out. And as revenge, Tonali takes Højlund out. Throw into Man United. Drogu. Lindelof, Højlund to Mount, but Mount just loses the ball. I can't think of one thing. Can't think of one thing that Mount has done since he signed for United. It's gone to Fernandes now. Fernandes on the left. Back to Eriksson. Back to Euro. Fernandes. And the ball just fades into nothingness. Goku says RIP United. RIP indeed. RIP indeed. Casemiro's coming on. Pinball, but nothing much happens. Jacob Murphy crossing, nice crossing, but just headed just over by Dan Burn. Just over. Newcastle attacking again, goes to Tonali. Saved. Thomas Tuchel is in the crowd. I wonder which England players he's looking at. Shaw defending well, screaming at his players. Goes to Ericsson. Fernandez, Ugarte, Mazraoui. Ugarte gets the ball deep, tries to whip a ball in, and absolutely nothing happens with it. Harvey Barnes wins the ball. Wow. 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 3-1 Newcastle. United are shit. Are the shittest of shit. What more can you say? I'm not a fan of Harvey Barnes stealing Salah's celebration, but it is what it is. Harvey Barnes is playing well. I'm not sure Gordon will get back into the team at this rate. But Newcastle are dominating. Ugarte got pressed by Barnes. Barnes just too quick, too powerful. Literally just ran through the middle of the pitch and then smacked it from just outside the box. Went near corner as well. Yeah, this Newcastle, man, they are these lot are a serious team. I know they won the Carabao Cup this year, but they'll be challenging for major trophies soon. Maybe as soon as next season, especially if they keep Isaac. Ugarte's down, but like, who cares? Just get up, innit? Even Ericsson's just pulling him up. Lana says, how funny if Newcastle catch title chasing Arsenal and they become even more Spursy. And they become even more Spursy, finishing third in a 2-horse race. That would be the most Arsenal thing I've seen in a while. Are Newcastle like doing that good? I want to see the Premier League table. If Newcastle win their next game, I mean, it's possible. If Newcastle win their next game, both Arsenal and Newcastle will then have played 32 games. Newcastle will be only 4 points behind. Not impossible to make up 4 points in 6 games. Make up 4 points when there's 18 left to win. It's not impossible. Showing Alan Shearer bold. Next to him, Nicky Butt bold. Next to him, David Ginola still uses hair gel. Goal kick then for the Geordies. Pope takes a very Geordie free kick. Headed out by Euro. One back by Guimaraes, but through ball doesn't come to anything. Goal kick. I don't even think Onana's in the full squad for today. kind of unlucky, but it is what it is. Goal kick. Newcastle 40% possession compared to 60, but have had 4 shots compared to Man United's 1, and have had 2 shots on target compared to United's none. Yeah, there's lots of rumours that Nunes missed out due to illness and injury, but I'm not sure kind of how much truth there is in that, to be honest. Isaac just making, what's his name, Ericsson look silly. Plays it to Jacob Murphy. Murphy to Guimaraes. Tinali. Offside. After all that, offside. Newcastle still on top. I really don't know what United can do from here. And again, like, what's the long-term plan? Like, United just buy a bunch of players in the summer and then hope it works, and then if it doesn't work, sack the manager. Bring in a new manager who plays with a completely different style of play, and then hope it works. Like, there's no long-term plan. And a collection of short-term plans is not a long-term plan. Harvey Barnes, cleared by Mazraoui. Somebody at that club needs to have the guts and needs to, have the bravery to say, we're going to sell all these players. We're going to sell all these players on crazy wages. Your Mason Mounts, your Fernandezes, your Onanas, your Xerxes, your Hoylands. And we're just going to start again. But they ain't going to do that because they've got an ego. They think they can sign 2-3 players and start challenging for the league again. You can't. This is awful. Like, Newcastle are not challenging for the league this year, but they are levels above Man United. So Man United would need to get above Newcastle's level, and then get above Nottingham Forest level, and then get above Arsenal's level, and then get above Liverpool's level. It's not going to happen. I don't know why they just keep trying this year after year after year after year. It's just dross. But it's alright, they'll fire a few more people who work in the canteen. There you go, you save 20 grand a year, but you're paying the idiot who eats in that canteen 350 grand a week. Make it make sense. Even there, Fernandez trying to kind of play his way out of the press. And I think the ball goes out for a corner maybe. So it's Marco says Harvey Barnes is one of those players who is just never just Barnes. Commentators will always use his full name, yeah. Harvey Barnes, Matty Cash, God knows who else. Yeah, even I was doing it. I was like, yeah, Harvey Barnes. It's never Barnes. Maybe because if you say Barnes, they think you mean John Barnes. So you have to say the full name. I don't know. Might be something like that. Yeah. Cleared by Bayendia. He's at least not had any howlers. I don't know how much he could have really done for the 3 goals. So Dogu with a foul on Trippier there. Isn't Dogu like the one player that Man United bought, Amorim bought, and he's complete trash? Future's not looking good. I think Amorim will probably get sacked eventually. Probably not in the summer, but I think if things don't improve by around Christmas time, then they'll probably get rid. Not that it's his fault. I think Amorim could have really succeeded if he was at the right club. What's Hoyland even doing? Plays it to Dogu. Okay, Dogu. Okay, good run. But then awful pass. You did the running and then you played it like 10 yards behind Delo. Hoyland. What is Hoyland good at? He's not fast. He's not a good finisher. He's not strong. He's not good in the air. Ugarte takes a shot, but you know nothing's going to happen then. What are Hoyland's strengths? You know how they say like some players are a consistent 7 out of 10 at everything? I feel like Hoyland is a consistent 3 out of 10 at everything. Like he's not good at any one thing. He's not okay at any one thing. He's not terrible at any one thing either. He's just poor at everything. That's Rasmus Hoyland. Strange player. I don't know why my watch says that I'm standing up. Because I'm not. Guimaraes, Tonali. Guimaraes. Cross in. Caught by Nick Pope. Oh boy, this game is painful, isn't it? Ooh, mix up there, goes to Guimaraes 4-1. I don't even know what happened because the camera wasn't showing it. But let's see that again. (4-1). What a battering. Oh god. I mean, the camera wasn't even focusing on the goal. It was showing like a little replay. They're showing the keeper. It would be hilarious if the keeper fluffed up after they dropped Onana, who also fluffed up. Yes. Come on, show me the replay. Okay. Euro to Bayendia. Oh my god, the keeper fucked it up. So YNWA tried to clear it, but because Joe Linton's 8'3", he intercepted the clearance with his head, and the ball fell to Guimaraes, who then just slotted it in easy. Oh god, Man United just cannot get a goalkeeper who's just not complete dog turd. Who's this bloke coming on? Looks like he's from the 1960s. Who is this guy? So they got Gordon, Wilson, and some other bloke who looks like Kraft. Okay. Thought I was going back in time when I was seeing Kraft. Yeah, this is horrendous, and you don't even feel like you don't even feel like Newcastle have gotten out of second gear. Like Newcastle have been the better team. Obviously, it's reflected in the score, and it's like you can see that even if you didn't see the score, you can see Newcastle look more aggressive. Luke Shaw's coming on. What's he gonna do instead of thinking about what he's gonna have for dinner? What's the point bringing Luke Shaw on? I still don't necessarily think Amorim is a terrible manager. I think it's just a situation that he's in. It's okay. Ineos will fire a few more dinner ladies tomorrow to make up for it. Newcastle again. Newcastle going forward here. Guimaraes, but unlucky. The ball just goes out. Drogu is taking another throw in. Newcastle is just playing cute ball now, and I say they're playing cute ball, but they'll probably still get their chances. It wouldn't surprise me if they were to kind of get a fifth. To be honest, it's been kind of that bad. Kobe Mainoo's coming on. He has a nice trim, but I don't think he'll be able to do anything nice on the pitch. Coming on for Fernandes. Fernandes walking off with absolutely no urgency, absolutely no nothing. So why are you walking off? At least have some pride, run off, maybe get one more goal. Kobe Mainoo looks like he's just had enough of this club. Oh god, it's not even funny anymore. What more? Fernandes looks like he's crying. Probably watching his performance back. Fernandes did absolutely nothing this game, to be honest. Come on, Ericsson. Do something useful, Ericsson. Luke Shaw's on the pitch now. Maybe you can run away from him. Ugarte. Dogu goes to Dogu. Dogu with a cross in, but cleared by Livramento's. Livramento's quality. Maxwell says United grow worse and worse with each passing match. It really is quite remarkable. It's very remarkable. Never in my wildest dreams would I ever have predicted this sort of implosion for a club of their stature. Long may it continue. I'm loving every minute. Comedy FC. It's wild, man. I mean, there's bad and then there's this. Like, they haven't really played with any pride. Like, sometimes you can take a battering, but you can be like, you know what? We at least had our pride. We were at least, we went out on our sword. These lot ain't even got a dagger. They haven't even got a spoon to go out on. Forget going out on your sword. I mean, this is horrendous. Amorim's gonna look like Ten Hag when he's gone, and I'm talking about in the follicle region. The crazy stat I just saw was Newcastle have done the double over United for the first time in 94 years. Not even back in the Kevin Keegan days. Wow. That's wild. I would have thought at least kind of when they were challenging for second, they might have done it then, but no. Good for Newcastle, eh? Lucy says, I tuned in last time before going out and it was 1-1. Now it's 4-1 Newcastle. Bro, they might need to let Amorim go. This is embarrassing. Don't let him go. Don't let him go. Keep Amorim here. Keep Ange Postecoglou here, mate. There's no need for these managers to go. Give them more time. Give them more time. Give them more money. Of course, if they were the Liverpool manager, I would say get rid immediately. But since they are not, give them more time, give them more money. Amorim, to be fair, I don't think he's had a fair crack of the whip. He hasn't really bought his own players. He was brought into a sinking ship. It will be interesting to see what he's able to do when he's given control to shape the team how he wants. But you don't know if he'll even be given that chance with this ownership. They seem to be quite what's the word? Volatile. And even then, even the players that he's linked with, a lot of the players, they seem to just be his old players, and that never turns out well. Just buying all the players from your old team, right? That's what Ten Hag did. Basically recreated Ajax FC and then got sacked. If you notice, Slot hasn't bought any old Feyenoord players, and we haven't even been linked with any old Feyenoord players. So I don't think the solution, in 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, I don't think the solution is to just buy whoever you had at your old team. It feels like a desperate tactic. It feels like a kind of misguided tactic. But let these lot continue to do that if they want. Goku says, with current form, the top 5 will be us, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa and Newcastle. Won't mind if Arsenal get knocked out of top 5 too, but the chasing pack is too inconsistent for that. Yeah, I think even if Arsenal just get knocked off second, down to 3rd or something, maybe down to 4th, even that would be hilarious. But yeah, there's not too many points in between those teams, so it certainly could happen. Certainly could happen. Yeah, I think Newcastle are just gonna kind of see this game out now. To be honest, no reason to kind of run for any balls. Um, no reason to kind of stress themselves out. You could say 4-1 is more than enough of a margin for them to kind of hold on to. Bayendia almost bloody messed up. Almost messed that up again. What is wrong with this team, man? It's comical. It's truly comical at times. Dogu wins the ball, but he is judged to have fouled his player. Judged to have fouled his player. Marco says, I don't like them because of the nasty side to their game, but that Newcastle midfield three is incredibly effective. So physical and powerful, certainly amongst the best midfield trios in the league. It is. You got Joe Linton, who's the aggressive kind of, I don't want to say bully. Well, I can say bully, but I say it in a positive connotation here. He's kind of the aggressive bully type of player. Physically very imposing. You've got Guimaraes, who's similar, perhaps a bit less physical, but still very physical, but also a very good passer. And then you've got Tonali, who's their kind of McAllister equivalent. Technically very, very good. Definitely one of the best midfield trios in the league. And even when we came up against them, we really struggled. So I'm a bit jealous, but also a bit happy for them at the same time. Riff says, I can't wait to remind United fans that Wataru Premier League winner Endo is a better player than Bruno Fernandes. I still haven't forgotten them telling me Darren Fletcher was better than Gerrard because of Premier League wins, and now it's our turn. That seems fair. Ryan Brewster is probably also a better player than Fernandes because he's got Champions League medal. By that logic, yeah. Who else? Tyler Morton. Chiesa, who's played about 5 minutes. Yaros. Does Yaros get one? If they're shameless, we can also be shameless. It is the cycle of shamelessness. Mason Mount tries to dribble with the ball and just gets tackled immediately. Nicely done, Mason. You earned your 350 grand a week just there. Harvey Barnes is still at it. Okay, that was a bit aggressive there on Dogu. Yeah, Newcastle just seeing the game out at this point, I think. Amorim looks not particularly happy. Ball goes to Euro. Euro plays it back to Bayendia, who, to be fair, has only made one mistake. He's only made one mistake, which is 50% better than what Onana did. So they're already on the way up. Højlund even dribbles funny, man. What's he doing? He should really pass it to Luke Shaw there. I don't know. This Højlund guy is complete turd, isn't he? I don't even like Man United, but like Luke Shaw is in a ton of space, but Højlund decides to just run into the defender and then smack it at the defender. Absolute god-awful player. Didn't they spend like 55 million on him as well? What a waste. Goes to Ericsson. Gone to Kobe Mainu, who does absolutely nothing with the ball. Tonali now in the counter attack, even though there's a minute left, he's still, he's playing like they're behind. Tonali versus Euro. Nicely done. Goes back. Newcastle might as well just play keep ball for the next 30 seconds. Blow the whistle, ref. Ain't nothing gonna happen in this game now. Full time, guys. Full time. Newcastle 4, Man United 1. Man United got absolutely battered, which is what we love to see. Yeah. I think Man United are going to need to buy a significant number of new players. Well, to be fair, they do that every year, but significant number of new players with some sort of plan. Garnacho ain't celebrating now. Yeah. Pretty trash, but that's what we like to see. We like to see this trash team playing pretty trash. So we're happy about that. But anyway, I'm going to go now. We'll be back probably for the Champions League on Tuesday. Who is it on Tuesday? Is it Villa? Oh, yeah, Villa PSG. So, yeah, back for Villa PSG on Monday? On Tuesday. On Tuesday. See you then.